All right. Non-spoiler review for Prey. It's an original film coming out on Hulu. It is a prequel, not a sequel. It's another iteration into the franchise of the Predator franchise. Anyway, if you're brand new to the show and you are finding this review, please help us get to 70,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're trying to take this on tour. We do a few long-form shows. We do stand-up comedy. We do a whole bunch of different things. So we'd love to bring on the road and have you guys join us and learn more about the channel. So join us today if you can. Prey. All right, so I had heard about this movie. I think they screened it at Comic-Con. Is Dan Trachtenberg, who directed it, did 10 Cloverfield Lane. Smaller cast. Amber Midhunter, Dan D'Allegrio, and Dakota Beavers star in the movie. So what I liked about this movie right away is that I've been saying for a long time what Terminator should be doing with their franchise. Or a lot of times they go too high with the budgets and the cast and everything. If you scale it down and get back to the premise itself, that's what was so fascinating about, especially like the original Terminator and the original Predator. It's pretty simple. Yeah, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, but for the most part, and Jesse Ventura, but for the most part, not a lot of people. All right, fine, Carl Weathers, but you know what I'm saying. It wasn't like these massive, big, huge movie stars. And it was a smaller budget for back then. And it's just the premise alone. And that's what made the first Predator so special. Now, I had said in my Out of the Theater that I think this is the second best one. To be fair, I haven't seen the second Predator in a long time. I remember really enjoying it a lot. I have to go back and revisit. I think that when I was really comparing it to Alien vs. Predator and all these different movies and that just Predators and all these movies that came out afterwards, they went just too big with it. And they didn't get that kind of special feel. This movie captures the horror, small budget feel to it. I do think that I want to see it in the native language of the tribe that is being by the Comanche. I want to see their native language. I think there's a version of this movie with that. Because that was the thing. One of my criticisms with the movie is sometimes the English seemed a little bit even too modern. And I think that Amber Midthunder is fantastic in the role, but sometimes I felt like she wasn't 200 years before. She was today. That's what it felt like, the modern English. And I think it's more of a directing thing than anything else, too. And speaking of Amber Midthunder, who the character is very smart, ambitious, finds a way to really battle the Predator that is out there. And I liked the cat and mouse stuff that they were doing with her. There are a couple of times the same type of thing that I have with anytime that somebody kind of just can. There's a certain amount of scenes, a lot of flipping, and it got away from what I was enjoying about it. And there's backflips and some kind of fighting that I'm like, I don't know if that was necessary. It takes away from that real feel of how this woman has been able to battle the Predator thus far. But that's few and far between. For the most part, it was really, as I said, a very simple Predator hunting people. The rules are in place, and it's brutal. It can get pretty brutal at times, which is what I also liked about it. There's a lot of decapitation, let's say that. But I think it's a great, and people will, should you, because I had a chance, so people were like, how'd you see it in theaters if it's only come out on Hulu? Disney screened it for critics to see in the theaters, and it is a fun theater experience. However, I think that this movie is made for streaming for a reason. I don't think, because of the cast and the way it works today, I don't think that a lot of people would flock to the theater enough to put the money into the marketing and everything that would come out into a theatrical release that it would make sense. It makes more sense here. I think this movie will be very successful on streaming, and I think you'll probably get another one with Amber Midthunder because she really carries the movie, and she makes the movie. You understand what she's going through, the idea. Her brother's like the main hunter. She wants to prove herself, and obviously she gets an opportunity to do that. I'll go about 3.6 or 3.7 out of 5. People, well, that's pretty low. It's not really low, considering all the Predator movies that we've gotten over the past, and the fact that we can come back. I mean, that last one of Shane Black was bad, and he was like, he was the guy who was in the first movie and helped it out. So this is one. I would say this is the best Predator movie since Predator 2. How about that? How about you guys? What do you think? Do you want to see this movie? Do you care? Do you not care? Are you going to watch it on Hulu when it comes out? You got this. You got Bullet Train coming out in theaters. So I really like to get your thoughts. Go ahead, comment, let me know. I want to hear about it. And once again, if you're brand new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Got a lot of good shows coming out here. I appreciate you. We'll see you on the flip side. Let's pray.